All right, so with the 7th pick in the NFL draft, JC Lathum has been selected by the Tennessee Titans, which is definitely a surprise to me. Listen, there's things I like about JC Lathum. I think I'm higher on him than some other people are. To me, this is one of those picks, though, so I'm going to have a whole film study explaining what I like about him, the good and the bad that comes of his game. I think he's a very good prospect, and I like him a lot. I don't like him as much as number 7, and he was number 18 on the consensus big board for whatever that's worth. This is on paper a reach. This is now maybe they like him more than most. Like I said, I like him as a player, but this is definitely something that I think a lot of people are not going to agree with. Now, it's a position of need, and this is part of why I don't always love drafting specifically for need, because you tend to get a worse player. You're still getting something that can help you right now, and I think part of their logic might just be simply, hey, we have Will Levis, who is supposed to be this, or kind of is this promising young quarterback who has shown flashes, and we want to give him a real chance. So you kind of have to go out and get an offensive lineman for him if that's what you want to do. And I think sometimes there is this race to get the offensive lineman, right? We definitely have seen that happen before in the past. Maybe that's what the Titans are concerned about and what they're trying to avoid. Let's just draft a guy. Let's not worry about it. I think they would love to trade. To me, this makes me wonder if just a team isn't going to trade up to get a quarterback, because you would think if a team was going to, now would be the time to do it. So that's my assumption at this point. No trade up in this situation, and it's a bit of a surprising pick for me. I do think that for me, I would have loved to trade down, and even if this is the move, you want to get an offensive lineman, I'm a little surprised you don't go Olu Fashanu or Talise Fuaga in this spot. So it's not a move I love. I should probably just get into the film, because that being said, I do like him as a player, so it's kind of that conflicting thing. So I'm a little bit lower on the pick. Sorry, Titans fans. I'm sure in the comments below you'll explain why I'm being stupid. It does fill a need, and I do think he's a good player. So we can, there are some negatives, and we'll talk about the negatives in the film. The film's gonna be mostly positive though, because I think he's a good player, and I don't think that they, this isn't a Cleveland Furl for me where they just drafted a guy who's not even going to be good. It's more of I think maybe it's one of those ones where you drafted a guy a bit high, but is still going to be a good player who fills a need. So I don't know. But yeah, let's just get into the film. Let's start off with this play. It's going to be a one-on-one block there against the edge rusher here. And watch how it's a one-on-one block, but there's a little bit of help to it, I suppose. The guard is going to come over and at a certain point help out. And I think for Lathum, he's one of those guys where you can really get excited if you're a fan of a team that just drafted him, right? Because the highlights are so great, and this is a good example of that. Watch how when it begins, you're going to see that right here, like I said, the guard's kind of helping out a little bit, but he's quickly getting over to the next level, and that does make a difference. But watch how Lathum finishes this block. Watch him essentially just take the guy down like it's a WWE move, practically. Kind of rolls over him, which was interesting. But again, can really make those types of blocks, and can really, I think, show some of these wow plays that is, hey, that matters. And if you have the strength to make other defensive linemen look stupid in college, you should at least have the strength to do your job at the NFL level. Now, going over here, I do think that there is a bit of inconsistency in his game. I think that's fair to say. I think there's some inconsistency in his game. And he's only 21, so you can live with that. And, I think that there's really good traits with him. But, something like this, for example, it's once again going to be a one-on-one block. You see that when this play begins, right here. Okay, so far, so good. Doesn't seem like there's, a great hand placement or anything like that. But you're going to see something that does happen with Lathum a bit. That is a bit of a negative. Watch, he's going to kind of get off balance here and, gets driven back a little bit. Not a disaster. Hey, he won the block. Who cares? Quarterback had time to make the throw. But you do wonder if his kind of tendency to get a bit off balance at times could come back to become a real issue once he gets to the NFL level, as guys are obviously a lot stronger there. It's not a huge issue and not something I'm concerned about. But again, we're talking about the positives and the negatives, right? So I got to bring up both. That is probably the biggest negative, I would say. But let's get back to some positives. Something like this, where once again, he's going to end up blocking an interior defensive lineman on this play, as, there's a halfback who's seeing if the guy on the edge is going to be, rushing the passer. And if not, then the halfback just runs a route. So for Lathum, that's the guy he's supposed to block. When this play begins, the Alabama quarterback takes the snap, and right here you see Lathum again gets the hand placement he wants, and once he does, like, I know it showed that last play where he kind of got off balance. There is a bit of that, but for the most part, once he gets in these positions, he's not losing. Watch him be able to pull off that size. It really, does not get driven back whatsoever there. So as long as it's really a footwork thing. It's probably the better way to phrase it. I think his footwork can sometimes get a little bit sloppy, which can cause him to get off balance. But when he gets his feet planted, which is usually, he's just not getting beat. He just isn't. And in stuff like this, too, more of a traditional pass protection play right here. Again, a one-on-one matchup. Well, let's see what happens. Quarterback is going to take the snap, and you see, again, gets the hand placement he wants, has his feet where you want them to be, and it's just, a lot of college players just were not able to figure out a way to do it. Like, so for this play, what is the edge rusher going to attempt to pull off here? Well, watch him attempt a few things. He's trying to get those arms, out of the way. You see him kind of hitting at the arms. He just can't do it. And Lathum just holds on to that block for forever, seemingly, which is definitely something that he is able to do. So, again, for a guy who's 6'6" and 335 pounds, he moves really well. And the highlights are going to be awesome because of that. There are more consistent players in this draft. There are. But he's not like that bad consistency wise too. And I would say there's far more inconsistent players as well that are, some people have as higher players than him. And the reason why I'm higher on him than a lot of other people are is because the consistency is still pretty good and the highlights are amazing. I think you can coach up maybe some of the other issues and you could have a potential elite level tackle. And even if you don't fix all of it, seems like he has a pretty solid floor as well. So I wouldn't be that concerned about maybe some of the critiques that I do have with his film. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Lathum and his game. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I appreciate that. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button or just click on the channel itself. I will be covering every little detail about this draft. So, if there's anything you're interested in, I'm sure I have a video about it. Make sure you check that out. Also, if you like movies, make sure you check out my movie channel. The link is in the description for that. Have a lot of fun stuff on there, some movie reviews, some tier lists, stuff like that. And also, if you want to just hear more of my general thoughts, follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. Link is in the description for that as well. And once again, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it.